Welcome to TNT Moms,
where we are blowing stuff up. I'm T,
and I'm Tammy.
and welcome to our third episode of our podcast. I cannot believe when Tammy told me that the last episode was over a year ago. I was like, we are on a whole different level of procrastinating. Like, we could be professional procrastinators at this point. Life has definitely been lifing. I guess we can say welcome to our 1 year anniversary podcast.
Yay!
So, yes. So, what are we discussing today?
So, on today's episode, we're going to talk about as a mom, do you ever feel like you can't breathe or relax? Because if you do, everything's just going to fall apart. So, do you ever feel like that as a mom?
I do feel like that all the damn time. And you know what? Shit will fall apart. Let me just say that in my mind, it will fall apart because I want things done a certain way. And I also need to get over that. It's something that I'm really working on. Because if something isn't done to my standard, I have to learn that it's okay as long as it gets done and makes my life easier. I will literally struggle and complain, even if I'm asked what I need and if I need help. Um, for example, let's just say I ask someone to do the bathroom and I feel like I will still have to go in and go behind whoever it may be, and I feel like if I keep everything in line, then it won't fall apart. But you know what will fall apart? Me, myself, and I. And that's not good at all. That's why it's so important to follow my own advice, even though I never do, and say it's okay if everything isn't perfect or top notch. You have a roof over your head, you have food on the table, you have clothes on your back, and most importantly, I have love from my family. Things that won't stay together is yourself if you fall apart because it has a trickle down effect. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I definitely get what you're saying, but in a bigger scale of things, far as things falling apart, like if you don't keep it together or if you relax, like when it just comes to like managing everything, when it comes to taking care of the house, paying the bills, taking care of the kids, making sure homework's done, making sure doctor's appointments are made and they're taken to the activities, and you also making sure you're trying to be a good wife, just like all of those things involved. Like on a bigger scale, do you feel like if you don't keep it together, or if you just at one point just say, you know what, I'm just going to relax, let someone take it over, that do you feel like it's going to fall apart?
Absolutely. Because you know what? Because the shit will fall apart. Because I'm not doing it. No, I'm just saying, like, let's be real. I'm sorry. My mind is always, always, always going. And it's hard for me to relax. It's my mind goes from, even in my sleep, I can't relax. It's just always going, going, going. And it's like, even during sex, and you always say to me sometimes, like, what was your mind? Was your mind going? Was you relaxed? And I'm like, no. And you're like, well, that's the reason why. We do so much. And I feel like even though, like, I complain and say, like, oh my God, I do so much, I do so much. When I've tried to hand over or pass the baton, as they would say, it doesn't get done to my liking, like I was saying before. Or, the something will get scheduled, but it may not be the right time or that I want it, or the date may be wrong, or send him to the grocery store. He's calling me a million times on FaceTime, and sometimes the article, the item still may not be right. Then I have to end up going back and getting in myself. I just sometimes just don't want to deal with that, and I say, let me just do it myself. So I always feel like I don't have time to relax because I don't. And I really do think it would fall apart if I just take two steps back and try and relax. And I
Mhm.
think I would see like a huge catastrophe
Yeah.
that would happen because I have tried it. I've tried it. Maybe I haven't tried it for long enough, but I've tried it. And then I just had to jump up and say no, like this just and you know what they say, right? If you want something done, right, you got to do it yourself. And
Yeah.
I kind of like that motto. I do, and I swear by it. Um, but it is also something that I do have to change because I do feel like maybe, if you keep at it and maybe like letting him do stuff, maybe the third or fourth time, then there won't be an issue.
Mm.
But in my mind, it's like, oh, I won't even let him get to that time. So I have to work on that, because it would be so much easier for me, um, if stuff was 50-50 or 70-30 and stuff like that, and it's just because and I don't allow it. So I don't even want to say it's not that he doesn't do it because he's willing to do it. You know what I mean? I ask and he will do it. It's just the point of it's like I just want to do it myself, and if I want it right, I want it done right, I have to do it myself. How about you?
Well, I feel like, in the bigger picture of things, it's just like, yeah, I can delegate stuff to people for them to do, but when it comes to the managing of it, like it just falls on me as a mom. And I also feel like
Mhm.
not just for myself, but just even in society, like it's just the expectation as a mom, like you have to have it right, you have to have it together, you have to handle everything. You
Mhm.
can't mess up. You got to make sure your kids is doing well. You got to make sure they're well behaved. You got to make sure you're just doing everything right. I feel like
Mhm.
there's just no grace given to us as mothers. It's just like we can't mess up. Like we can't make a mistake. Like we just can't take a moment to just breathe or relax because, if things fall apart, the person they're going to point the finger at is me, not my husband. I just feel like we
Mhm.
don't get the same grace that a father gets. I can be in the house doing, cooking dinner, on the phone scheduling things for the kids, helping with homework, um, cleaning all at the same time. And like no one
Multitasking.
sees all of that. But like
Right.
my husband can be sitting there and doing my daughter's hair and like that is just like a bright shining moment for him, and everybody's just like, oh,
Mhm.
he's so wonderful, he's so great, he's an amazing father. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, he's good. But at the same time, like, and then he can make a mistake and it's like, oh, it's okay, like, you got to understand, he's
He's a
trying,
good man,
he's
Savannah.
yeah, and it's just like we just don't get the same grace. Like we always have to get it together. Like if it's Father's Day, it's like, what are you doing for him? You got to make him feel special. He's a great father, and
Mhm.
it's like, I try that, but let Mother's Day come and I'm not saying he doesn't, but there was one time like he kind of messed up, and I remember talking to a friend about it. I'm like, he didn't plan a great Mother's Day this time. Like I felt like he could have put more of an effort, and her response to me was
Right.
like, don't be so hard on him. He tried. At least he comes home every night. And I'm like, wait a minute. Like,
Like
that's the
what?
expectation for him? Like, just coming home every
Right.
night? Like, when did we set the bar
Mm,
that
mm,
low?
mm.
But then
Exactly.
me as a mom, it's like I don't get that grace. As a wife, I don't get that grace. It's like we just have to always have it right, and we don't even get that grace from other moms. Sometimes you want to be vulnerable and talk to another mom and let them know what you're going through and what you're struggling with. And I have that with you where I can be open and vulnerable, but other moms don't always have that where they can just say, I'm messing up, or I don't feel like I'm doing this right, because the response from another mom is just like, oh, well, I don't do that. Well, I do it this way. And you're like, damn, I just wanted you to hear me and listen and say it's okay. And, so it's just hard. Like you just want to be like, look, let say it's okay for me to mess up. Like say it's okay that I don't got it right. But
Mhm.
it's just always like, we have to have it together, be on point, can't relax because everything's just gonna fall apart, feels like. Do you,
Yeah.
feel a lot of that?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just like I'm just so drained. I know that they say, the wheel is moving and the hamster is dead, and they use that by saying like the person is dumb. But I think I'm using that as that's what my energy is
Mm-hmm.
basically, and it's like you can't pour into other people if you can't even pour into yourself. So it's like I'm going on that wheel, and I have no energy, but it's
Mm-hmm.
like constant, and it's just like we have to sit back and stop. And that brings me back to my first point, and just taking the time to take the help, and also just like sit back and relax and just say, you know what, we do so much. And I like, as the kids get older, I they do appreciate me more. I love that. I love you, mommies, you do so much for us and stuff like that. Is see They do see it, but they don't see the flip side of it, of when I
Mm-hmm.
close that door, I'm like drained and I'm
Yeah.
crying and I'm
Yes.
like, oh my gosh, like how am I gonna get through this next hour, this next day, this freaking week?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm done. And then we have to turn around and open the door and have a smile and suck it up and just
Yes,
keep going and moving and trucking. And it's difficult,
it
you know?
is. It is. It's very difficult. And the crazy thing about it is that, like, I do also have these conversations with my husband about what I'm feeling. And the crazy thing about it, and it may sound strange to people, is that, he's trying to comfort me and be positive and give me positive affirmations. And he's telling me how wonderful I am and all these great things. And you think that's what I want to hear in that moment, but I really don't. Like, in that moment, I don't want to hear I'm great, because it just leads back to, like, I have to keep it together. I have to, I can't break. I have to be the strong one.
Right,
It's going to fall apart.
right.
Like, I just want to be able to talk to another mom that can relate, and we
Mhm.
just sit in it. We just like, yeah, it
Mhm.
sucks right now.
Right.
Like, can we run away? Let's plan our escape plan. Like, forget these kids. Like, like, where
Fuck
you want to
these
go? Like,
kids.
we
Go
know we ain't
ahead,
going
say it
nowhere.
with your chest.
Like, we know we ain't going nowhere, but just to have someone in that moment to be like, I hear you, I see you,
Yes,
I feel you, and it's okay.
absolutely, absolutely. Because you listen, some parents is just like, I birthed you. Like my job is done. Like, see ya, peace. And no, that's not how it. No, it's not right, and that's not how it's supposed to be. But there are a lot of parents like that. So we go above and beyond, and it's very important for us to do. I guess to be overworked, and it's important for us because we know that at the end of the day our kids will be out okay, and we're doing the best job to to mold these kids into the children that we know that they are and they can be,
Yeah.
and that's important. And if I'm tired and overworked and running on E, even though it's not saying that it's good, because self-care is important, and that's a whole nother topic that we will be getting into. But, you know, if that's what happens for a little bit, then so be it.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at with that. So, guys, what do you say? What do you think? When it comes to things, is your mind always, you know, going and going, and you feel like you can't relax, or you feel that everything will fall apart? Please let us know.
Well, that concludes the third episode of our podcast. Thank you for joining us once again, and please hit the subscribe button.
And I promise you guys that it will not be another year before we do our next episode. Bye.
Bye.